as a sports ground, but there seems to have been a much wider representation there, which is unfortunate because, as Mr. Bagley knows, at the previous meeting of this council, where we received questions and petitions in some numbers, we went into a great amount of detail on green space, on climate emergency and the measures we're taking forward. And so I hope I don't seem derogatory if I say the detail of that is already available in the minutes of that meeting, which have been presented to this meeting. And I don't think it would be a service to all if I rehearsed them again. I wasn't leader at the time that some of these developments came about with regard to the change of use of Elm Avenue, the application of any funds raised from it, and very certainly the development of the YMCA facility is now emerging at Elm Avenue. Luckily, my predecessor, Councillor Blaney, is here this evening, and I find it curious the number of references to the Newark Sports Association in that address. I'm quite certain that Councillor Blaney might pick up on those and perhaps demonstrate why I am so curious as to how this petition has now come forward for an organisation that previously encouraged house building on that land. There were suggestions therein, Mr. Chairman, that there was almost an inference this council isn't doing anything to improve health outcomes. We all know in this chamber, and there are items on the agenda and what we're doing, that we are very much working in that respect. There was an inference that crime would increase and the place would be less safe. Those statistics have been made available. Crime is down, antisocial behaviour is down, there is more engagement with younger people. We have had recent drug swipes, Operation Vow is embedded, we're now tackling vehicle crime, and there is next to nil knife crime. I think on safety and crime, our work with the police and communities is yielding dividends. It is an increasingly safe place. With regard to the green space, we've just seen the presentation, we've just seen that external judges determined that Newark deserved gold for its work on open space and engaging the public to use and actively contribute towards those. So I find that the address wandered somewhat from the specific petition, which is what people signed, not that which they haven't heard. The petition was keep the Elm Avenue Stadium as a sports ground. I might indicate a fenced and padlocked sports ground. It might be somewhat misleading, therefore, Chairman, to suggest it's open and accessible space. Now, I have to say this has gone on for some time. It is within my ward. It is within Councillor Girling's county division. I'm aware there have been consultations, and I know they're sometimes difficult to engage with, but I know that both of us separately have engaged with residents in that area as well. And I say it's over several years, Mr. Chairman, because we're in a difficult position now, which I'm sure Mr. Bagley understands, that this request is too late and is therefore no longer a realistic proposition. And whilst I'm grateful for the views being expressed by petitioners, we are in that position. Decisions regarding the use of Elm Avenue have already been made. It was County Council land, as was indicated, but we have sought to work in partnership. Indeed, as Mr. Bagley is fully aware, discussions regarding the relocation of the sports provision at Elm Avenue into the site now occupied by the YMCA Community and Activity Village have been on the cards for many years as part of a wider and strategic approach to the delivery of improved sporting space, and with a partner that will engage those in our community that very often do not access these forms of activities. The Elm Avenue site has not been used now for probably over 5 years. We've swapped, and I should be candid, a fenced-off, unused site which was not contributing a jot toward Newark's sporting offer with a wonderful, new and nationally significant community and activity village. This is in addition to also delivering a new cricket pitch at Elm Avenue, and we have the full support of Sport England in these procedures. The national body that promotes and preserves sport. I will heed their opinion. They recognised, as this council did, that we had an opportunity to do something really quite special for the people that we serve and represent, and that's what we've done. All the monies due to the district council, which were referred to as part of the sale around Avenue, are being directly recycled into the sports provision adjacent. As we know, phase 1 of the YMCA Activity Village has been up and running for just over 10 months. Fantastic for those who've not been. Providing 2 full-size floodlit 3G pitches and an athletics track. Already we've seen 88 groups either base themselves at the village or make use of their fantastic facilities. The next phase, which we hope will commence in March 2020, will include educational classrooms, changing facilities, a large community cafe and kitchen, function spaces, early years nursery provision, dance hall, art and music classrooms, physiotherapy rooms, mental health and NHS consulting rooms, PT and functional fitness suite. Oh, and an Olympic standard climbing centre at the centre point of it, and a skate park larger than any in a 200-mile radius. All that in Newark. For communities, I emphasise again, through a provider whose motto is make the most of yourself as you can, and they will work with communities we know we have to engage with. I cannot demur from the proposition that is before us. Elm Avenue forms a critical piece to the delivery of the YMCA Community Activity Village, and while I do understand people's attachment to the site, and those who have been to these meetings know my views on heritage and other issues, the reality is that we have replaced it with something that is immeasurably better. Yeah. So I thank Paul and the petitioners, but I propose that we simply note the petition, and in so doing, welcome the continued development of YMCA Community Activity Village, and look forward to hearing many stories of lives being transformed by its services and facilities for many years to come.
Well said.